Okay guys, what is up? Mori is here today to do another One Piece chapter 764 review. The chapter that came out a week ago, but I wasn't able to make the video because I just arrived in college, I had to study and all that. So here I am, doing two chapters in 1 week. The chapter before and the chapter that came this week today. So, but of course I will do separate videos for every one chapter. I will not tell for all two chapters in one video. So here begins the former 764 review. So here begins. So at the beginning of the chapter, well, before I get to the chapter, I have to say that the chapter was a bit simple, but we found out lots of things about in this chapter, especially for the Will of D. And that's a very good and useful information because the Will of D is one of the craziest, biggest mysteries in One Piece. The second one are the ancient weapons and the Joy Boy and the ancient kingdom. So thank you Oda for giving us this such useful, great information. So here begins the information. So the chapter review. So there have been a lot of theories about Corazon having the Opi fruit and given Trafalgar Law so we can live to be cured of this Emberlit syndrome, but at the end we find out that he hasn't the Opi no Mi, but the Nagi Nagi no Mi, a soundproof human powers. So at the beginning of the chapter we found Corazon and Law in one of the streets of the city and talking about the D and Corazon himself. So in a show of ways, because Law was so angry and shocked in the sea that he can see Corazon speaking, Corazon just put like that a technique called silence, so we can make a barrier, a soundproof wall, so nobody of the city can hear them, and Corazon Law cannot hear them too. Well, this wall, this barrier, it looks like, pretty much it looks like Bartolomeo, but there's a big difference between them because Bartolomeo can do barriers and Corazon can do soundproof walls, so it's a very big difference. So, but this part we can find out that he had the Nagi Nagi no Mi, the power I was trying to talk about, the no silent human power, something like that. They even tell him about that. Law was shocking that he was speaking, he's a Doflamingo user. And about speaking, when Law asked him how long can you speak, Corazon said he can speak all the time, but Doflamingo, in sort of ways, he accepted that he cannot talk, like he's mute, like that. And of course, for Law, this is like high treason because he betrayed his own friends, comrades, and all that. But for Corazon, well, he said they're not comrades and friends of mine, because his only goal, why he's Don Quixote Pirates, it appears is to stop Doflamingo's madness, his older brother's madness. Because like he said, how can a pure heart love Tenryubito, the Don Quixote homie and his mother, their mother, can give born to such a evil child, the devil, Doflamingo? Because like you said, he's no human. And then we have a little flashback. Those three hanging on the wall with the ropes, and of course the citizen tortured them. And that's where we saw Don Quixote homing, their father, screaming that please spare the children, put the arrows on me, please let them leave because the children didn't take any crimes what I did, blah 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 blah. And Corazon of course said, oh, it hurts, and they're all wounded, and was crying, scared, so like that. And then Doflamingo said a very crazy, mad, but interesting speech. He said, I will not die. You can do whatever you want to me, but I will survive. And I will kill you one by one, so no one can be left alive. Something like that. For a child, 8 years old, this is a pretty hard, crazy, mad stuff. Like, there's no wonder they call him the Heavenly Yaksha, the Heavenly Demon. But whatever. He's a real psychopath. So, in that case, we can see Corazon why he explained that he's not human. And the only ones who knows about Dofi's true nature are his top executive officers. Pica, Diamante, Treble, him, Corazon, Don Quixote Rocinante, and the first Corazon, Virgo. So we even find out that Corazon is not a code name, but it's a title. Because at the beginning I thought Corazon was Don Quixote Rocinante's code name, but now when we find out his title, it appears that before he go to the Marines, he was the first Corazon in the Don Quixote Pirates. So it appears that, like we see and read, Don Quixote Rocinante take his place as the second Corazon, and of course as his young brother. So like that. And even Law was asking him if being clumsy and hiding stealth fruit powers and being mute, he said it was all an act, and he being clumsy, but well, not particularly clumsy, because we can see his coat on fire. So even now he said being clumsy is something that will remain him for the rest of his life. It was a pretty good scene. Yeah, it was all an act. And you can see his coat on fire. And there's one of my interesting favorite parts of this chapter, the Will of Thee speech. The reason why Rocinante took him and taking him one of the streets so he can talk to him and demand him to leave Doflamingo. So it appears that how is about Don Quixote Rocinante's words, it appears that the D's are that Trafalgar Law, or should I say his ancestors, they're from a fated D clan, or not D clan, a family of D. Family of D. It means that the family of D is somehow like a Tenrubito family, something like that. Because he said that where he and Doflamingo came from, he says all the nasty people, and whatever they do, they will be eaten by the D. A very creepy story, very creepy words, but it appears like for their words, it appears that the D's are very powerful and frightened enemies, somehow. But he even said that from the countries where he came from, because he said that wherever a D make his name successful and very known, all the D's bring is chaos. How Corazon was trying to explain it, so it's really odd. But it's most particularly like Monkey D, Luffy did, and Trafalgar D, Waterloo did, when they were trying to make a name of themselves in the New World. So a little bit that's true. And then when he said to the country where he came from, and Doflamingo too, he says the D's are well known as the gods' natural enemies. The first time when I heard the name God, the first time I thought it was about Tenrubito, because if you explain Tenrubito as a god, that means that about their nature, their personality, their tyranny and everything. It appears for Corazon that these are trying to destroy the world, or how Trafalgar Law explained that the D will bring a storm once again. And then Law was trying to argue him that he's from a family of monsters, something like that. Corazon said yes or no, maybe. I don't know. Because for his opinion, the Tenrubito must be something opposite. Then the D's must be something opposite of the Tenrubito. Because that's all the information we have about the Will of D, but it's very useful. It's very useful because, about this speech and everything, it appears that the D's are very special. Very special, even much more special than the Tenrubito. Because from Rocinante's words, it appears that they are something like a high, powerful, wealthy level than the Tenrubito, or maybe the D's and Tenrubito somehow are on the same level. I don't know, maybe in wealth, maybe in power, maybe in money, maybe in force, I don't know. Because if the D's are the fated enemy, the fated family that disappeared a long ago. So maybe there's something to do with the ancient kingdom. I don't know. I will see, because for the will of D, there's still yet plenty of mysteries to be fulfilled. So, but let's move on. So after hearing all this incredible speech to Law still doesn't give a shit, doesn't give a fuck about nothing what Corazon told him. So he tried to run away to say to Doflamingo about all this news of his betrayal. Corazon tried to stop him on his leg, and then he took him and dropped him in the garbage. Because, like he said, even these 2 years, Trafalgar Law became very powerful. And then is yet, that's the very best part, because at the beginning when I first read the chapter, I thought the Trafalgar Law were really told the news about Corazon. And then is where Corazon arrived to a very funny Don Quixote pirate ship, because it looked like a swan with, if you see from the Don Quixote Doflamingos glasses, the same. And he was worrying, of course, that the Doflamingo will kick his ass or kill him, like it used to be. But Trafalgar Law, remembering what 2 years ago, what Corazon did for him, Trafalgar Law did for him too. And then the crazy shit happens. After those two, they will be even. They will set sail to the seas to find the cure for Law. And even then, Rocinante tie him up so he cannot escape. And that time, it was one shocking news that I was very surprised at everybody else here. Rocinante, working for the Marines. All this time he was a Marine, or how should the paper said, a Marine commander. I mean, all this time he was a spy. He was a spy to the Don Quixote pirates, his own brother. Huh! That's a very shocking thing. And of course, I really wanted to see him after all 2 years, but even a flashback is very good. We saw Admiral Sengoku, even 30 years ago. Even then he was an admiral, so it appears that not very too long he became a fleet admiral. If 30 years ago he was an admiral. So, yeah, so it appears that Sengoku is the one to hire him to be a spy to Don Quixote pirates. Because he, at the boat with Den Mushi, he tried to call him and to say him all the news about Don Quixote pirates. And when Sengoku told him about the children, that if the children get away, so that's the reason why he hated children, because it was the only way to make them escape, to don't become the members of the Don Quixote pirates. But Trafalgar Law, Baby Five, and Buffalo are the only ones who didn't escape. But he would try to do better to let them escape, and even say to Sengoku that he will leave this mission for his personal reasons, and of course for that reason are to find Law's cure, something like that. So, and then a time at the door when Sengoku and Corazon trying to finish their talking, he appears Virgo. I don't know if he hear about all this news that Rocinante is a spy or anything, but because the only thing what we know is was trying to give that he will wish to be set in the G5 base, like we know from Pine Hazard. He was a vice admiral and the leader of the G5 base. So here's maybe this where his marine career begins. And like in Pine Hazard, first he had a steak, then we have shish kebab, then we have French fries, then he have the spoon, and now on the flashback we have a piece of egg, boiled egg, on his face. Seriously, Virgo, before you go somewhere, please look at yourself at the mirror, so you can see what is on your face. So, about adventure, about Law and Corazon searching for the doctor, well, I can say they didn't succeed. They tried 8 fucking hospitals, big hospitals, so they can cure the Amberley syndrome. But of course, for the Amberley syndrome, he comes from Freeman's Kingdom, so fucking holy shit, get away from me, get away, disease, we're gonna suffocate. And the big part is, every doctor who doesn't want to try to cure all, Corazon punched him and destroyed the hospital. In this part, we can see that he's a very good person. A pure, hard, good person who's trying to help this kid. He even, like I said, he even won't try to leave the mission so he can save the kid's life. A noble man. Corazon, you're a noble man. So after all these 8 hospitals, he tried to harder to find another hospital so they can cure all. And one night when Doflamingo was asleep, he was confessing that at the time when he stabbed him, it didn't hurt him, but he hurt Law for doing that, because he understood how lots of pressure, how lots of suffering, tragedies he could pass after the Freeman's destruction. He understands the suffering of Law, of this little kid. Compassion. The true compassion. And Law, hearing that, at the morning, here's where, like we heard for the first time when Doflamingo shoot him, he began to call him Corazon. Something that Corazon will never suspected to hear it from him. And then at the end of the chapter, when Moshi was Doflamingo on the other side. Corazon, it's me. Now, before I read 765, I thought maybe Doflamingo found out about his treason to try to kill Corazon and everything that, but it appears it's not. But for that, I will tell to another video the 765 review. So yeah, for now, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit. Oh yes, but I'm done. It's a really simple chapter, but we found out a lot about Corazon, that he is a spy of the Marines, about the Will of D, that all the adventures that Corazon and Law did so he can save Law's life and everything like that. So yeah, I'm done. It's a simple chapter, but for the news about the Will of D and the Delphi and the powers that everything what Don Quixote Rocinante is all about, I will give him a 7.5 of 10 to this chapter. So yes, and done. Subscribe, comment, give me thoughts and ideas, give me something what you try to add in this video. Drop me a like, I will appreciate that. Peace everybody, have an awesome day.